Hello Nigeria, welcome to Newsline. I am Becky Madujemo. We have planned a great outing for this edition of the program. The story of a young lady who flew to Saudi Arabia on pilgrimage only to get picked up by the authorities of that country will be told. It is a captivating true life narrative, and you will hear how the federal government provided a perfect finish at the nick of time. Now, shadowing Zainab is a teenage boy. Is far from regular. At a tender age, she is already making legit money. I will hoard information on what he does for now. You'll have to wait it out. Meanwhile, the world marked Hypertension Day, and there were talk shops by medics everywhere to create the needed awareness. We will be sharing with you how to manage your blood pressure in order to prolong your days. That's the much I will be letting out of the bag for now, but best believe that our other reports are spellbinding. Let's watch the news before we continue, shall we? Over to Fatima Umar Abuja for that.
Well, thank you very much, Becky. Good to see you, and you're all welcome to the Newsbeat on Newsline. Like you heard, I am Fatima Maruba. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed sadness over the loss of lives and property in Zamfara and other parts of the country following banditry and other acts of criminality. He promised not to relent in curbing the disturbing trend for sustainable peace and prosperity of the country, but also bringing perpetrators to justice. This was in Mecca while hosting some stakeholders from Zamfara State and other personalities to the breaking of the Ramadan fast. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the details.
Breaking the Ramadan fast with a broad spectrum of the Nigerian society is a daily ritual by President Muhammadu Buhari during the holy month of Ramadan. This time, the president was joined by the governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Yari Abubakar, the Emir of Maradun, Alhaji Garba Tambari, Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, and other personalities who are in the holy city of Mecca for the Lesser Hajj. At the event, President Buhari reaffirmed his commitment towards ensuring that justice reigns across Nigeria while Nigerians find peace and prosperity wherever they live. The Emir of Maradun led prayers for the repose of victims of violent attacks in Zamfara State and other parts of Nigeria, and for Allah to help the country achieve total peace and stability. Those who spoke to NTA News shortly after appreciated the Nigerian leader for his genuine love and care for Nigeria and Nigerians.
As a president, he has a lot of responsibility, and he needs to seek for Allah's guidance. We know he inherited a lot of problems, more especially on the issue of security. Is what he inherited, issue of economy. The best thing to it is to pray for Mr. President. May Allah continue to guide him and let this administration end of his term, 2023, to be the most successful one.
My advice to the president is to continue with what he has been doing, and by this, Nigeria will be great for the next 4 years. We Nigerians, we are looking for this next level to be very successful.
The significance of this is that we are here praying for the country, praying for the leadership, praying for peace and security of the nation, and praying for, economic development. And we believe Allah will answer our prayer, and we believe Nigeria will be better. We believe Mr. President will come back and embark on full national duties with vigor and all strength that is required.
The holy month of Ramadan is a blessed time in which prayers are encouraged towards achieving forgiveness as well as peace and prosperity of nations. The president was accompanied to the event by Nigeria's ambassador to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Isa Muhammad Dudu. From Mecca, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
In the meantime, candidates vying for the presidency of the 74th session of the United Nations General Assembly are being reminded to sustain the vision of the General Assembly. President of the 73rd session of the United Nations General Assembly, Maria Espinosa, threw the challenge during an interactive session ahead of the election. Adibola Brooklyn Sunday reports.
The dialogue is in accordance with paragraph 73 of the United Nations General Assembly's Resolution 71, sub 323 of September 8, 2017, and in principle of rotation and its Resolution 33, sub 138 of September 1978. Maria Espinosa reminded the sole candidates, Nigeria's Muhammad Tijani Bande, to bring to fulfillment his vision statements already circulated to all members.
In line with the overall objective of increasing the transparency and inclusivity of the process, the informal interactive dialogue is being webcast.
During question and answer session by delegates, Muhammad Tijani Bande promised to build on the achievements of the 73rd session of the Assembly.
Dealing with climate change, terrorism, pandemics, global warming, and related issues in our individual configurations, either as groups or as even countries.
Muhammad Tijani Bande is at the peak of consultations ahead of the election into the presidency of the 74th session of the United Nations General Assembly. Adebola Brooksland Sunday, NTA News.
And Nigeria has condemned the strongest terms the attacks on the United Nations peacekeepers, which led to the death of a Nigerian UN peacekeeper in Timbuktu, northern Mali, by unidentified assailants. A statement by the acting spokesperson of the Foreign Affairs Ministry, Friday Akman, says the attacks, which occurred in separate incidents in Tessalit and Timbuktu, also left 4 other UN peacekeepers, including another Nigerian, injured. While sympathizing with the families of the deceased and the injured, the ministry reiterates the federal government's commitment to continue supporting the UN peacekeeping mission in the fight against insecurity in the continent and beyond. Moving on now, security operatives of Nigeria and Niger Republic have resolved to end activities of armed bandits along the borders of the two countries. Shehu Muhammad Datti reports that the resolution was reached at a joint security meeting between the two operatives at Dankano village in Maradi, Niger Republic.
Hili village in Isa local government area of Sokoto State was a meeting point of the two security operatives of Nigeria and Niger Republic. Dankano village in Maradi, Niger Republic, hosted the joint security meeting with a Nigerian team headed by Commander 1 Brigade Nigerian Army Gusau, Brigadier General Linus Udiabala, while Lieutenant Colonel Seni Sido led the Nigerian security team. The joint security meeting was aimed at furthering modalities on enhancing and promoting joint military security inter-border relations among the security agencies of both countries. Discussions of the two security agencies dwelt on how best to checkmate the menace of cross-border armed banditry and other criminalities across the nation's porous borders.
So this meeting is specifically conducted to protect Sokoto State from the activities of the bandits.
We are taking the lead on this operation, eradicate bandits from Sokoto State Command.
Part of suggestions to checkmate the security threat by the operatives were provision of sophisticated gadgets, intensified border patrol and checkpoints. Other issues are periodic interactions with the communities mostly affected border community relations and checkmating ferocity of the nation's borders. Combined operatives from Nigeria includes the Nigerian Army, Commissioner of Police, Department of State Security Service, Civil Defense, Customs and Immigration Services. In Sokoto, Shehu Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Gabriel Olanishakin, says there is need to strengthen the Nigerian Navy given its strategic role in combating rising maritime security threats and economic sabotage. General Olanishakin said this at the passing out parade of Batch 28 trainees at the Nigerian Navy Basic Training School, One, River State. Kingsley Amajiri reports.
A total of 1,136 Trainees comprising 997 males and 139 females passed out, having completed 6 months training with basic courses in navigation, communication, small arms firing, physical exercise, and military drills, among others. This prepares the batch 28 trainees for military service. Chief of Naval Staff, who was the reviewing officer at the occasion, tasked the graduates to bring the knowledge acquired to bear to enhance maritime security in Nigeria.
Other emerging challenges in the maritime domain are piracy in the Gulf of Guinea. I expect you to be courageous, morally upright, and resilient in whatever role you find yourself as part of the ongoing national effort to confront these endemic threats.
To some of the graduates, the day comes with mixed feelings. From One, Rivers State, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
And providing decent accommodation and other welfare packages for personnel of the Nigerian military are some of the federal government's strategies at encouraging the sustained fight against insurgency. Towards this end, quarters have been inaugurated by the Akwa Ibom state government at the Wellington Basi Barracks. Clement Barikui reports.
Our buildings are bad, our structures are bad.
See house, rain they fall, rain they enter inside.
Those were residents of the Wellington Basi Barracks, Ibawa, Abak, Akwa Ibom State, narrating their ordeals. The appeal of the people did not go unnoticed as Governor Domi Manuel went on inspection tour of facilities at the barracks in October 2018.
We commissioned these 84 units of this first phase of this intervention project.
The inauguration of the renovated 7 corporal below quarters with 84 flats at the Wellington Basi Barracks has brought relief to many families whose breadwinners are on the field protecting the territorial integrity of the country.
A look at these buildings relative to other buildings in the vicinity clearly illustrates the story of our past.
The second phase of the project is expected to commence in June 2019. The soldiers and their family members are also assured of a water project as well as improved power supply.
By the inauguration of the next tenure, we will do everything possible to put new submersible pumps in those your water projects to make sure you have water.
In Uyo, Clement Barikui, NTA News.
And an alleged kidnapper and armed robber who recently masterminded the kidnap of the UBEC chairman along Abuja-Kaduna Road is dead, following multiple wounds sustained during an Operation Puff Adder shootout in the early hours of Saturday. In a statement by the first public relations officer, Frank Mba, the shootout took place on the outskirts of Regina village when the police operatives, in line with the mandate of Operation Puff Adder, were carrying out routine surveillance and raid of suspected criminal hideouts when they were attacked by an armed criminal gang. The police team, however, repelled the attack, bringing the mastermind known as Shahu down while his gang members fled. Shahu was rushed to the hospital where he eventually died. No efforts will be spared to restore Ibadan Airport to its pride of place in order to contribute its quota to the socio-political and economic development of Southwest and the nation at large. Minister of State Aviation Hadi Sirika gave this assurance while inaugurating the remodeled terminal building of the airport in Ibadan. Correspondent Fatai Adeyeloja completes the story.
The Minister of State Aviation, Hadi Sirika, listed Ibadan as one of the 157 projects embarked upon by President Muhammadu Buhari to make life more meaningful for the citizenry.
What Kaduna is to the north, what also Enugu is to the east, as well as Benin, the south-south, that is what Ibadan is to the west. We cannot grow bigger and can't run faster than our fathers.
Oyo South Senator Soji Akobi, who represented Governor Abiola Ajimobi, gave kudos and, like Oliver Twist, put the Southwest demands in proper perspective.
We want a situation where this will be upgraded. It might not be up to world class, but to a level that our people going to Saudi Arabia, going to Jerusalem, can fly directly from here.
And what are the factors militating against optimal utilization of Ibadan Airport?
The length of our runway is 2,400 meters, and it needs to be extended. We are running this airport on generator, but as time goes on, by the grace of God, when the transformer arrives, we'll be able to power this airport very well.
With the assurances of the minister, Ibadan Airport will in no distant time live up to expectations in Ibadan. Fatai Adieloja, NTA News.
And the federal government is to build an agro-allied cargo terminal at the Benin airport to boost economic activities in the state. The Minister of State for Aviation, Hadi Sirika, disclosed this while inaugurating the newly installed night landing facility to enable the airport commence night operations. Good luck, Enaini reports.
For now, the Benin airport closes flight operations at 6 p.m. daily due to the absence of night landing facilities. It is in a bid to change the narratives that the federal government has provided the facilities to make the airport world-class. Minister of State for Aviation, Hadi Sirika, who also announced the readiness of the federal government to build an agro-allied cargo at the airport, wants the state government to leverage on the NIMET facilities at University of Benin.
And in addition to this one that you have seen, which is the ground-based equipment, we have also satellite-based equipment that we put for Benin in such a way that even if this one fails, the one in the satellite will now work.
Governor Godwin Obaseki describes the development as in tandem with the state government's aspirations to develop the state.
With this air transportation infrastructure, it will just complement a lot of the other efforts that we are making currently in the area of agriculture, in the area of industrialization, in the area of tourism and culture, and even education.
In Benin, good luck in Aini, NT News.
The Buhari Support Group Center says there is no law that mandates Justice Zainab Ulkachua to recuse herself simply because her husband belongs to a party whose members are in dispute with members of another party. In a statement, the Director General Buhari Support Group, Umaru Debbo, says the chairman and other members of the Presidential Election Tribunal are people of high repute and integrity. He expressed his confidence that they will do what is right. President Muhammadu Buhari joins the media world in celebrating veteran journalist, columnist and author Dan Ochima Ogbisi, who turned 75 on May 20, 2019, congratulating him for years of consistency, resilience and patriotism. President Buhari affirms that Ogbisi's passion for journalism reflects his deep love for Nigeria as depicted in the subject of his columns, books, and the analytical and investigative prowess given to the treatment of national issues, commending him for sacrificing his time and talent in pursuit of a greater future for the country. The president believes the veteran journalist made sacrifices for Nigeria's return to democracy and strengthening of democratic institutions that must be acknowledged, which will remain indelible in the sands of time. As the co-founder of Newswatch magazine turned 75, President Buhari extols his virtues of humility, discipline, focus, and exceptional brilliance that have contributed to the dynamism and vibrancy of the Nigerian media industry. And now to sports. President Muhammadu Buhari congratulates Super Falcons for WAFU B tournament victory with Karolina Pliskova, crowned champion of 2019 Italian Open. Amanzi Marcos reports.